Alright guys, back out in the shop again. Uh, Last time you saw this, we'd got the motor in, got the rear wheel mounted. Um, what I'm going to do in this video today is take off some of the tape that I had masked the motor off with, get that off of there. We'll get the exhaust on and mounted. Might even be able to get some of the electrical wiring back together. And once I get the wiring on, the the exhaust on, then we probably can work on torquing some of the bolts down. So we'll probably do that towards the end of this video as well. Go over some of the torque specs and how to use a torque wrench. So this video might be a little bit longer than the rest of them, just for the fact that I really want to show you guys a bunch of different things. So please make sure you watch the whole thing so you get the whole picture, right? So again, I'm going to switch to a time lapse here, and then I'll bring you back to live time when I need to show you guys some of the torque specs. Alright guys, so we got the exhaust back on, got the majority of the wiring back on, and I thought I'd show you quickly a little bit about the shop manual that kind of came with my motorcycle here. And you can see a little bit in this picture what this thing used to look like, right? But the idea is that this diagram is showing us the torque specs that we need to tighten the nuts and bolts down for the motor, right? So I figured I'd focus on this one first. Really, the ones that I'm going to focus on, the swing arm and the motor, are really the ones that I'm going to be paying close attention to, making sure that I set them or get them tightened to the right torque. So if you look, we'll use these up here as an example, the top hanger bolts for the motor mount, the top of it, right? Those are 8mm bolts. And it says that if we look, okay, 14 to 25 foot-pounds. It might be a little bit tough to read, but that says 14 to 25 foot-pounds. So if I tighten those nuts down to somewhere in that range, we know that we're pretty safe. So what a torque wrench does, here's a torque wrench. Okay, this one, obviously some of them are a different style. This is like the ratcheting style. But we have down here a scale, right? So we can set this thing to the right value. And what we want to do is we want to get this thing in that range of 14 to 25 foot-pounds. So I'm actually probably going to set it to about 20 foot-pounds, and I'll be happy. So I'm going to rotate this until the 0 lines up with that middle line. So if you can see that, the 0 here lines up with this middle line, and the edge of this rotating part is right on the 20. So we know that we're at 20 foot-pounds right there on the dot. Okay, and then I'll tighten it down, and it'll kind of lock itself in place. And what's going to happen is as I'm tightening this, what's going to happen is it's going to make a clicking sound as soon as I hit that value. And that's when we know that we've tightened that to the right torque. Okay, I'm going to give you another shot of me doing that on the motorcycle itself, and you should be able to hear the click. Okay, so we're over here at the motorcycle. This right here is the nut that I'm going to be tightening down. I've got it finger tight right now, so I'm going to put a wrench on the other side so it doesn't spin. Get my torque wrench on there and start to tighten it down. Did you hear that click? That bolt and nut is tightened down to 20 foot-pounds currently. I can reset and do that again. So I'll just loosen this up a little bit. So you might be able to hear that a little clearer. I'll do it one more time. Okay, those are the ratcheting sounds, right? That's the clicking of the ratchet. But there will be a specific click. Listen very carefully on this one. That right there. I'm at 20 foot-pounds right there. Okay, so that's how you set and use a torque wrench to torque a nut and bolt down to the right spec, using the shop manual as a reference to make sure that I have the right value. Okay, so in the next video, what you'll probably see me do, guys, is get some more of the motor on there. I've got a few other parts to clean up a little bit. We're going to get some more parts on this motor and eventually here soon get it fired up for you guys. We'll catch you later, guys.